Welcome back to Rubbin Minds. Still with me is Professor Adeleke Fakoya, the Dean, Faculty of Arts, Lagos State University, and we've been discussing the ASUU strike, the cutoff mark by JAMB, and we want to know what is the lasting solution to providing quality education for every Nigerian child, be it polytechnic, monotechnic, technical college. What is that solution?
If the government is sincere, unfortunately, we don't have a government that has the interests of the people at heart. The government we have today is full of people who just want to line their own pockets, no matter what happens to the country. But then, if we're looking for a lasting solution to the crisis of education, one, there are countries in Africa that we can emulate. There are countries that have invested in education, so much so that public schools now look better than private schools, and then people now have interests in those public schools. We can do the same thing in Nigeria. If government, for instance, does what ASUU is asking, fund our universities, fund our institutions, okay? Do not create any stupid dichotomy between anybody who goes to the polytechnic and anybody who goes to the university. What is the talent, what is the gift, what is the skill that this person possesses? How is it useful to you as an employer? And then how can the generality of Nigerian students benefit from our education? Again, the management of these schools, whether it is primary school, secondary school, or university, the management matters a lot. By the time you begin to put education under political appointments, that's a problem. A person to be the Minister for Education or Commissioner for Education, for instance, must be somebody who knows the ins and outs of education. Not an adventurist that comes into politics and therefore by connection becomes the minister or the commissioner. No, it's got to be somebody who is very well versed in education. You won't, for instance, make a pastor the chief judge of the federation. You won't make a farmer the chief medical officer of a hospital. Why would you put a politician as head of education? So we've been toying too much with education, and there's a need now for us to wake up and see education as instrumental to the growth of our country.
If they are to put more money in education, do you think that the allocation given to education in the budget is enough?
The allocation for now is not enough. Any meaningful country should put at least 35 to 40% of the budget
national
on education.
Budget.
Yes, of national. Yes.
And
education.
then that's when we'll begin to see the rewards.
But it's not just the money. There has to be people that are appropriate, the right people for such a project. Education is not just, it's not like going to market. No, it's a serious issue.
So the money in and the skilled manpower to actually do the job.
Skilled manpower, thanks.
Do you feel that this ASUU strike, which has been going on, it comes in and out? I mean, while I was a child, I heard of people going on strike, and you'll be out of the university for months on end, and people spend 6 years for a 4-year course. Do you see this ever coming to an end? Or is something we just have?
Not.
Why do you say so?
It may never end until government does the right thing.
So are you saying if government does what ASUU wants, tomorrow ASUU will ask for another thing again?
No. If the government does the right thing, then yes. But until the government does the right thing, it may not end. Every government comes and then they want to do something different from what the earlier government has been doing. Today, it is this policy of education. Another government comes and it's a different policy of education. Why can't we have a meaningful, a suitable education policy for Nigeria? Why do we need to take from Singapore, from Malaysia, from Burundi? Why not just a Nigerian policy of education?
And irrespective of which government is in
yes,
power.
see it as a continuum. Yes. So once that is done, we now begin to monitor. Let me tell you this, man. Without ASUU, there can never have been anything called public university in Nigeria. Because, I'm sorry to say this, our government has consistently wanted to destroy education in favor of private universities and similar,
Why do you think some of these government officials have investments in this private
universities? I'm very sure,
universities?
yes, they do. I'm very sure. If they don't, they will have family members who do, and then they will have shares in those things. Because, for instance, let's look at power. Why can't we generate power in Nigeria? But because some people in government are the ones who are importing generators and so on. So they want to make sure that their business is flourishing while the interest of the country is demolished. So
is that on the leadership then? Does that say the kind of our leaders that we're electing?
It is totally on the leadership, yes. But unfortunately, we vote for these people. And so when they get in there and they don't do it as we want, then the crisis is ours, not theirs, because their own children are abroad, not here.
Okay. Okay. Finally, do you feel that the private sector has any role to play?
Any role to play regarding education in Nigeria?
Yeah, improving very briefly the quality of education.
It is possible for them to come to work with public universities, public institutions, and so on. But don't forget that private universities or private schools are meant for private business. So it's going to be in their own interest to ensure that nothing works in the public schools because their own interest will be protected.
Okay, thank you very much for joining us, Professor Fakoya, and for your contributions. And we hope that this ASU strike will come to an end.
So do I.
Rubbin Mind still continues as we have an entertainer in the house for our entertainment segment. Stay with us.